Welcome to your quick stretch break on Studio B. My name is Jyoti Bainey. When you were a kid, do you remember moving for the joy of it? Whether it was dancing or running around or just playing. And you just moved because it felt good in your body. Well, oftentimes as we've become adults, we've sort of lost our connection to what it feels like to move joyfully. And one of the quickest ways to bypass stress, anxiety, and worry is to just move for the joy of it. And that's what we're going to do for about 10 minutes today. So let's come into a position on your chair where the feet are flat on the floor. If that means you need to put some sort of support like books, blocks, or a blanket underneath the feet, please do so. And slide your seat slightly forward so that your spine is not collapsing on the back of the chair, but instead is tall and upright. And then just relax the arms alongside you. And as you inhale, lift your shoulders up towards your ears and squeeze them tightly. Hold for a moment. And then as you exhale, just let the shoulders drop away from the ears. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, squeeze them up. Hold them tightly, nice and tight, and release. Do that 1 more time. Inhale, squeezing up tight, like you're shrinking the neck. There's no space between the shoulders and the ears. And then let all that tension go. Oh, that feels nice. Bring your fingertips either to the front of the chest or to the tops of the shoulders. And then start very slowly this micro movement of taking the elbows and drawing small circles. Now I said micro movement for a reason. You might start very, very small, depending on what clothing you're wearing or what mobility you're encountering in your shoulders today. And then as you warm up, you might explore, can you make these circles bigger? So they start to spiral outward. And there's no movement police here today. And so again, we're just moving in a way that feels good in the body. Just remembering, what does it feel like to do something just for the joy of it? Let's reverse these. Again, they could be as big or as small as you'd like. And one of the reasons why it's really nice to do this movement when we sit at our desks all day long, we tend to really collapse in our posture when we are typing on computers and on Zoom. Let's pause for a movement, have your elbows out wide. You might want to watch this if this is confusing, but drop your elbows alongside you, bring your right elbow forward, your left elbow back, and take a little twist. And then switch that. Elbows drop, left elbow forward, right elbow back. And just continue to move back and forth. So we're introducing a slight twisting motion in the spine. And it might feel really natural to couple with this with the breath. Or it might not. Maybe that's too confusing. And if it is, just leave it. You're just moving in a way that feels good. Couple more each side. Kind of invigorating the spine, feels good. And then come to center and just let your arms rest alongside you again, maybe kind of shake them out like I just did. That felt natural to me. And we're going to pay attention to the sides of the body, which can get really congested when we sit all day long. So you might let your left wrist and fingertips get a little heavy and kind of lean to your left, and then go to the other side to the right. And so you could keep this really structured, just kind of rocking from side to side. Or this might take on a little bit more of a wave-like quality. Very watery, fluid almost, as you just wave the body from side to side. And we're just opening up space through the ribs, through the sides of the waist, kind of freeing up the energy there. Still keeping this seat firmly on the chair. We don't want to fall off. So we're still alert here. Just inviting in some really intuitive, watery movement. And then come back to center. Bring your hands onto your lap and just take a breath or two and kind of notice how you're feeling. And then we're going to bring some awareness into the lower half of the body, which we can do in the chair, and it's important to do in the chair. And we're going to do some windshield wipers. So I'm going to bring my feet forward so that my heels are on the floor. And we're going to start with American windshield wipers. So dropping both toes to the left and then both toes to the right. And just rocking them from side to side. This is a nice thing to do at your office because you can do it with socks and shoes on. You don't need to be like me, barefooted. You can do it at a stoplight, never while you're driving. And then let's move into European windshield wipers. So come back to center. Now bring both toes together and then apart. And together and apart. And if you want to get a little bit playful, because after all, joy and play are siblings, maybe you're in quite a heavy rainstorm and you need to pick up the speed. And so the windshield wipers got to kick it up into high gear. Go a little faster. Get that energy moving up into the legs. And who knows, maybe you smile. And relax that. And then I like to do one thing here, and that's just put the soles of my feet on the floor and push them down. And getting a little bit of a stretch on the tops of my feet and the top of the ankles. Super simple, but it feels good. And then bring the feet back in. We're going to take a little bit of a back bend here. So bring your arms up, palms facing forward like a stop sign, elbows right alongside the body. And I want you to think of creating a back bend here. So elbows push forward a little bit, and then I'm going to take this sternum, kind of that breastbone area, lift it up. See how I did that? So this is me normally, and then I took my breastbone, the center of my chest, and I lifted it up. Yes, that's it. Now lift your chin slightly and look just diagonally up and forward. And just feel all this breath kind of moving up into the torso and the chest. Now you could stay here. We're going to be here about 3 more breaths. Or if you want to explore something deeper, take your hands to the back of your chair and then lean forward. Yeah, there you go. Keep breathing. And how does that feel in the body? Opening up all this space through the chest. One more full breath. For me, back bends are very invigorating. It's a great way to pick up energy in the middle of the day. And then relax that, soften out. Bring the hands to the lap and just take a breath. And then our last stretch today. Cross your elbows, hold on, or cross your forearms holding onto opposite elbows and lean forward onto your thighs. And then keep your left forearm exactly as it is, but release your right hand and bring it to your waist. And then twist around to your right. Now you could look to the wall that's over there to your right-hand side, or if it's comfortable in the neck, revolve your chin to look in the direction of the ceiling without overly forcing. And then if this feels good, maybe reach your right arm up towards the ceiling here. And again, we're not doing anything forcefully. We are playing in the body and remembering what does it feel like to move in a joyful way. And then bring that right hand back down, slowly come out of that twist, crisscross the forearms and take a breath or 2 there. And then we'll take that on the other side. Right forearm stays down, left hand to the waist. Start to revolve around to your left. You might look over at the wall to your left-hand side, or keep revolving your gaze up towards the ceiling, maybe elongating that left arm. Maybe just in noticing sometimes the mind likes to focus on, oh, I wish I could twist deeper, or it kind of focuses on the negative. So if that happens, see if you can actually use that as an opportunity to focus on what you are doing right now. So moving from deficiency to sufficiency in your mindset. And then left hand down, slowly taking the spine out of the twist. And then walk the hands up the thighs. And we'll take about a minute to just center before we close our practice. So sliding the hips back, softening your spine against the back of the chair, and finding just like a posture of relaxation. And then you could either find something in front of you to just settle the eyes softly, or you might let them close, just resting the eyes for a moment or 2. And just thinking to yourself, I do all actions for the joy of doing. I'm not depending on the results of my actions. I'm just finding joy in this moment. I do all actions for the joy of doing. I'm not dependent on the results of my actions. I'm finding joy in this moment. And just for this last breath or two, seeing if you can actually experience joy and just be with it for a breath or two. And then as you're ready, blinking open the eyes. Thank you so much for this quick stretch break. It was my pleasure. I look forward to being with you again very soon. Have a great rest of your day and be blessed.